Hi everyone, can you hear me? Yeah, okay. Okay, welcome everyone to our next session of the MentorCon, where we will share our mentor will share their research experience at Nazarbayev University, and not only with Nazarbayev University. So my name is Alan, and I will be the chair of this session. And let us start our presentations. So the first speaker will be myself. So let me share the presentation. Okay. So my topic is research in data science. So let me first start by just introducing myself, what I was doing, and what I'm currently working on, and what I'm planning to do in the future. So I'm an Almaty KTL alumni. Then I was accepted to a foundation years program at Nazarbayev University. So during the first and second years, I was focusing on my studies to have a good GPA. After that, after my first year, I was doing a summer work and travel program in the United States, where I was working in a pizzeria, cooking some cool stuff. And after the second year, I was accepted to a research assistant position now at our institute, Nazarbayev University, ISSAI. After that, I had my second research experience at EMBL, which is a European laboratory, where I'm working right now. And after this semester, I'm planning to do a data science internship at Bank. So regarding my extracurricular activities, I was a member of a new orchestra during my foundation year. Also, I was a member of SIAM, a new club related to mathematics. Also, I'm a mentor and peer advisor at Academic Advising Office. Currently, I'm a member of Nazarbayev University Data Science Club. And also sometimes I'm teaching SAT and UFIPED to high school students. Okay, so now let's move on to my main research experience. So first of all, I want to introduce ISSAI. So this is an institute at Nazarbayev University who focuses on the research in data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. So I was a member of the Kazakh speech corpus project team, where we worked on gathering a lot of data related to the Kazakh language and building a cool and very comprehensive machine learning model, which was able to transcribe Kazakh language into a text. And this experience helped me a lot to this was my first hands-on experience, and it was a very good project and very successful project. As a result, we were able to publish a paper which was accepted to a international conference, top international conference in machine learning. And also it was many different good companies in Kazakhstan, and not only in Kazakhstan, were able to collaborate with us and to integrate our project into their own work. And this experience really helped me to gain my current internship where I am working on right now. So currently I'm doing a machine learning internship in EMBL, which is the European Molecular Biology Laboratory, where I'm building a model related to biological imaging data. So just in general, I'm again gathering a lot of data and analyzing it and building model to get some insights out of it. Okay, so now let's talk about what do you need to start doing research in data science and machine learning. So as you may know, data science is a combination of mathematics and programming. So my suggestion would be to focus on the following topics. In mathematics, I really suggest to have a good knowledge of linear algebra, probability and statistics, and of course calculus at the core core course in mathematics. For the programming part, you really need to have a good knowledge in data structures, just to know how data is structured and how to work with it, and to know basic algorithms. So how should you gain all of this knowledge is by taking relevant courses in Azerbaijan University. So here is a list of courses that I would suggest. So for the math, it's obvious you have all of the necessary courses. Here you have their number, so you can easily register for them in the next semester if you have prerequisites. And for computer science, I personally took these 4 courses so far, and they really helped me to gain the background knowledge in order to really understand the field of data science and machine learning. And on the right column, you can see some other relevant courses that you can take. I would suggest machine learning from the robotics department and all of these computer science courses. Okay, so next, if you really feel, and if you don't have the opportunity to take courses at our university, and you feel that you need some additional resources, so here's a list of online resources that I would suggest. So first of all, to have a good knowledge in mathematics, base knowledge, I would suggest to go with Khan Academy to learn some, if you have some gaps in high school math. And MIT OpenCourseWare is as the main online resource when you can find any course and any relevant information, not only for mathematics, but for any course that you took at our university. And for programming, as I learned, the best way to study is to practice. So the good way to go is to study at HackerRank and LeetCode, where they have 1,000 of practical questions. So you should go there. And if you think that you have, if you like some background knowledge, I would suggest the following courses that will introduce you to Python language for data science and just general computer science background. For machine learning, the best way to start is to go to courseware and find the following courses. So they're really popular, and most of the successful data scientists suggest to go with these courses taught by Stanford professor Andrew. And if you want to really have a good understanding and to go further, I would suggest studying with books. So one of them is Hands-on Machine Learning book. So if you want, you can just write me an email or in Telegram, so I can share with you any material. Okay, so now let's just sum up everything I talked about it. So during the foundation and the first year, I would suggest to focus on university courses and to have a good GPA, at least in the courses that are relevant to your major. And then try to find some field, some area that you're really interested in, and build a strong background knowledge. And this is, as a result of will result in your good GPA. Okay, during the second year, try to find a professor whose research interests are really close to yours, and just start doing research with this professor. Approach him, write an email, and if you did these first steps, you'll probably have a good GPA, and professor will happily accept you and work with you. But I want to emphasize that good GPA is not the only criteria. So first of all, you should have the passion to do research, and definitely professor will look at this, also will look at your motivation. And if you're really lucky and you have some good results, you'll be able to have some contribution with professor and to have scientific publication. And this experience will definitely help you to extend your knowledge, first of all, and to be a more competitive student when applying to other opportunities, for example, internships abroad. So during the third and fourth years, find some other opportunities, apply there, and continue engaging with every professor you worked so far. And as a result, you'll be able to have a good recommendation letters from professors for your future applications to graduate programs. And this is one of the key steps for applying to graduate programs if you want to do a research in academia. Okay, so if you have any questions, I think we can move on to, you can just turn on your microphone or just type in the chat. So, okay, I will stop sharing. Okay, any questions? What are you planning? So, question from Camila. What are you planning to do after your fourth year? So, I definitely planning to apply to graduate programs, but I'm not really sure if I will apply to master's or PhD. And I'll try to apply to both. And definitely, I want to have a more specific direction in my studies. Okay, the next question, how do you find a professor to do research with at NU? So basically you, as I told you, should know what you want to do. And after that, you can find all the relevant information about our professors at I guess research.nu.edu.kz website, and just find the professor who has a relevant research experience, and just email this professor. Okay.
I had one question.
Yeah.
May I ask? Thank you very much for the information. But I kind of have one question, and I wanted to ask about the researchers, how they are done in the online studies, because I don't have any ideas how generally how researches they are being done. So could you tell more about this?
Yeah, sure. So in my case, I'm doing research related to data science, and basically the only thing that I need is a laptop. So it's easily done remotely, and basically any research is done by reading a lot of, first of all, connected to a professor, discussing the topic. Then you're doing a research, you are reading different papers related to this topic. And then, so for example, in my current internship, we have weekly meetings, online meetings, where we discuss what we did so far and what are the first directions. And then we just try to do this stuff. So basically you're researching, reading papers, and try to work with a code, in my case.
What about the workload? Is it possible to combine the studies and doing research?
Yes, so this is a good question. First of all, I would suggest that your studies is the most important thing. And if you feel that research is something you want to do, you will always find some additional time. And in my case, the workload after the second year was not very large, and I was doing research during the summer. But in general, you have to know that research will definitely take a lot of time, and if you feel that while doing research you have you take time out from your general studies, then you should somehow you should decide if you really want to do that, because the studies are more important than doing research, I think. Workload should not exceed, during the second year, should not exceed around like 2 hours per day. This should be fine. Try to allocate your time effectively.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. If no more questions, let's go to our next speaker. So our next speaker is Marjan Kapjasarova. She is a third-year civil engineering student, and she will talk about applied research experience in industrial engineering. So welcome, Marjan.
Hello, everyone. Today I would like to talk about my research experience in industrial engineering. First of all, before talking about my experience, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Marjan, and I'm third-year civil and environmental engineering student. My past experience include research internship in environmental field. I was working in global environmental geochemical research laboratory in Kazakh project. Also, I was BI intern in summertime. Also, nowadays I'm mentor in advising unit, and I'm research assistant in Industry 4.0 project. Apart from my academic career, I also had some activities. I was an ex-member of Nomad Debate Club, and I was an alumni of Work and Travel program and art school alumni. Now I would like to talk about my journey in research. First of all, when I entered Nazarbayev University, I had zero interest in research. I thought that I will never be like in scientific sector. I'm not interested in research, and I only want to work in industry. But then I had my first experience, maybe because I was like involved with many interesting people that are engaging in research. I had my first experience in environmental field. I liked this experience a lot because if it gave me some glance on how research works. However, I didn't really like the environmental field because it was not very suitable for maybe like my interest. So I quit this research and tried in this spot like internship in BI. However, it was also like I liked the internship itself, but it was not quite what I was enjoying. So I had my second experience in industrial engineering and management field. I think it's the best combination of industry and research because you can cooperate with companies and you can analyze the information more effectively and bring like new innovative approaches to the table, which is why I'm now considering myself as a passionate researcher, but it's only the beginning of my journey, so I'm planning to continue this way. So before going to talking about my research team and research unit, I would first of all like to talk about Industry 4.0. Actually, it's a new era of industrial revolution. For example, in first revolution, we had mechanization and steam power. So in the second one, we have lots of products, like same products in assembly lines and mass production. In the third revolution, in industry, we included like automation, computers, and electronics. You can consider first revolution as an expansion of third one, because now computers and electronics, like equipments, can interconnect with each other. They can use sensors. They can, like, with networking systems, they are now interconnected. So we can use these capabilities to further improve the products. So products could not only be like mass production, they could be customized for each person. Now I would like to talk about my research experience in the Industry 4.0 project. Our main goal is to facilitate industrial development in Kazakhstan, and to achieve this main, like, big goal, our approach is analysis of drivers, barriers, and other factors that influence the growth of firms. And to do this, we are heavily collaborating with company representatives, conducting interviews and seminars, meetings, and etc. Also, our main output of this project is to conduct and to prepare and distribute the Industry 4.0 readiness assessment model, and we are mainly focused for Kazakhstan small and medium enterprises. Our supervisor is Alitur Kilmaz. He is a very experienced person in industrial engineering, so I'm happy to introduce him too. Let me talk about our project. It is for now called COMA 4.0 project. For example, we are preparing this survey where we are assessing how the company is ready to introduce new technologies so that it will be ready for new era of, like, automation, and to be ready to new technologies, innovative technologies. So we are preparing this survey based on 5 main dimensions, like you can see in the screen. It's strategy and organization, smart products and services, smart processes, and etc. So we are, based on these factors, we are preparing the survey and collecting data from, like, I think our database include 500 companies. So we are collecting this data and analyzing the information from them to prepare and give them recommendations how they can further proceed with this in this field. For now, like, our main cooperating companies include BI Innovation, Silknet.com, Geometry, Glova, and Samruk-Kaznai, and others. There are actually, this field, Industry 4.0, is very broad. You can go with many other things when you will be interested, if you are interested in Industry 4.0 and how much opportunities and optimization it brings. So you can be involved in many other projects too. So main like parameters and sectors where Industry 4.0 is included is Internet of Things, when like data exchange could happen between machines. Also artificial intelligence, virtual reality, big data, and 3D printing. It's also called now additive manufacturing. All these fields are very interconnected with Industry 4.0, and you can proceed with any of these opportunities. My advice will not be as specific as Alain's, but I would like to tell more general advice. Firstly, I will suggest you to don't underestimate yourself. You should never give up your hopes and your dreams. You should be humble, but you still should believe that you can do this, because every internship, like if you didn't succeed in one, it doesn't mean that you cannot try the second one. You can, you should not limit yourselves. In that sense, I would like to tell you that you should not limit yourselves. Second of all, be proactive. Use almost every opportunity you think is important, and do not underestimate those opportunities, because some of them could not be your field of interest next day, but still could show you the way how you should proceed with your studies. For example, in my case, environmental field was not for me, so I changed. I understand this, and I very appreciate this moment of like being there and studying new things there. But I still believe that it showed me my way, that I should proceed. Showed me the roadmap of how I should proceed the next day. And still, I think that you should enjoy the process. Do not try too hard to be perfect. You should still, like, you should you should understand your feelings, and you should enjoy the process of working there, of doing this project. So in the end, I believe that it still will pay off. Your work and your hard work will still pay off. So if you have any questions, you can ask me now, or you can ask me later you can ask me in the Telegram, LinkedIn, or email, however you would like to. That's it.
Thank you very much. So basically, like this the research is mainly about industrial engineering, right?
Yes, it is mainly based on industrial engineering and management side.
So like students from another majors like mechanical and aerospace engineering can also like join in this research.
Yes, for sure. Engineering is quite related to this project. So any major, not maybe social, I don't know for sure, but in our project team, we have mechanical, electrical engineers too. So it's not restricted to major.
So for example, if I wanted to join this research, like what should be the first step like to take?
I think you should start with this. For example, here you can see the reference of Industry 4.0 project. For example, LinkedIn and website. You can go through these sources to understand what we are doing. So you can have some glance on what we are doing, and afterwards write Professor Ali Turkilmaz. You will probably find his, also you can see his works in Research No Yedukizet, and afterward write him to email. Like, I'm interested in your project. Could I join you, or what should I do to join you? So he will give you some guide on that.
So he's like advisor of this research, right?
Yeah, for sure, he's advisor. Also,
okay,
we have a head researcher who is, she's had her master's degree in France, but later, like in urban management, but you can you should first write to professor, and then you can approach her too. You can also write to me, and I can maybe make you some more, tell you more information about that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Can I add, just in general, don't write professor, I want to do research with you. So always try to explain why. So first of all, read the relevant information, and then explain to professor why you really want to do that. And not just, hi professor, I want to do research with you because you're cool. So that's not good. Always explain why.
Yeah, therefore I told you to go through LinkedIn and website, because there you can have more information about that. So your mail will not look like you don't understand what we are doing. Like, you will be more informative, so you can write more informative sense, like more informative information to him too.
Do you recommend like doing researches to get to the master's degree in the future?
Do I think it is important?
Like, would you recommend it, like getting involved in these kind of activities?
I think research is quite important for your master's. If you see yourself going to the master's degree after undergraduate degree, I think it's not mandatory, but you will have a higher chance of getting into this master's degree, like doing research, because there are many ways in research so that you can do some publication, you can write some publication so that other people will see your work, or you can contact professor in that education and in this university so that he will recommend you to be applied for this university. So there are many ways you can, you will have more ways to go to get into a master's degree if you will have an internship. So I will suggest this, the research. Did I answer your question?
Yes.
Do others have questions? Or... If there is no more questions, you can always write me using these references, or for now, I think we could proceed with another presentation.
Yes, so thank you, Marjan, very much for interesting presentation. Let's move on with our next speaker, who is Alena Krapivina. She is the third year World Languages and Literature major, and she'll talk about her research experience in the project of Multimedia Corpus of Modern Spoken Kazakh Language. So welcome, Alena.
Okay, hello everybody. So let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, so hello everybody. My name is Alena. I'm a third year WLL student majoring in linguistics. And today I would like to share my little experience in participating in the research project in the linguistics department and being a research assistant in this project. So a little disclaimer before we start. I'm going to talk about my experience in linguistics department. So if you're not a linguistics major or WLL student, I think you might need to seek for some more additional information from your department. So how to become a research assistant in your particular department. But I will try to cover some general points as well. So I hope this presentation will be helpful and interesting for you. So the brief outline, I'm going to talk about the project itself. I will also touch on how to become a part of the research group, and I'm going to talk about some of the benefits of being a research assistant, because there are some of them. So the name of the project which I'm involved into is the Multimedia Corpus of Modern Spoken Kazakh Language. And this project will last for 3 years from 2021 up to 2023. So it means that I can be a research assistant for all those 3 years, or I can quit anytime when I want, after the graduation or sometime later. So the main purpose of this project is to basically create the multimedia corpus of Kazakh language. So as I said before, it's a linguistics project, and we as linguists, we're working on collecting the data about the Kazakh language. And the language corpus is basically the collection of the data about the language, as I said, and also it serves the linguists and other researchers as an empirical basis in their research. So whenever the linguist or some other researcher needs the information about the language, he or she can use this corpus for their research. So my role as the research assistant is to basically collect the natural data. So it calls the field work. So we are recording and collecting the spoken data, spoken Kazakh language. And then we need to annotate it. So it's like the process of data collection, annotation, further translation and transliteration. So it basically refers to the like linguistics. And then we are making this data applicable for other researchers. So this is a collaborative project. It means that not only NU is involved, but also some other universities. So some departments at NU, several departments at NU involved, and also the Gumilev University. So we have some master's students who are participating in the project as well. And also we have the universities abroad. For example, the UCSB, University of California, Santa Barbara, and University of Kansas, and some other universities as well. So we have the professors and PhD students from universities abroad who are giving the workshops and trainings for us. So they are conducting the trainings so that research assistant can gain some additional knowledge. Okay, so how to apply for and become a research assistant? So actually, it was the easiest step in getting involved in this project because during the winter break, the head of this project, Professor Filchenko, he sent a notification that he has this new project and he's looking for the research assistants for his project. And the only requirement for applying was the application letter. So it's like a half-page letter where we needed to describe the linguistics courses we took and the reasons why we're interested in this project. So, and yeah, it was as easy as it is. And yeah, so here are two my trivial advices. Just check your emails regularly because when professors, they're starting their research project and they're looking for the research assistant, they usually send an email for their students, and you can just reply and get in touch with your professor and know the additional information. And you can also ask your professors directly about any possible opportunities, how to get involved into the research. And also you can ask some of your professors because usually they are they try to help their colleagues and they're resending the emails. And so you can ask your professor, and maybe your professor knows another professor who is conducting the research and looking for the assistance. So yeah, just seek for information from your professors. Yeah, and 10 days later, Professor Filchenko just sent the notification that I was applied to the research assistants group, and we started the series of training programs. It was during the winter break. So from December 17th, we started the training programs. Yeah, as I said before, this application process may differ from department to department, from professor to professor. So this process may differ. Some of the professors, they may require the CV and the application letter, or some other additional, maybe some professors can require the particular courses. So prerequisites that you have taken the course and then you have enough knowledge to participate in the project. But yeah, usually it's it's not that hard as it may seem. So yeah. And some of the benefits of being an array. So firstly, of course, it's money, because we're participating in this project on the paid basis. It means that we have an official contract with NU and the university pays us for participating in the project. And what's interesting is that currently we are on the stage of the trainings and workshops. It means that we're not doing the real work yet. So we're just like having a Zoom sessions with some trainings, workshops. We have some additional assignments, and we're still getting paid for that. So later we can renew our contract, and the real work will start during the summertime, and the payment during the summertime will be higher than we have now. So I think it's really cool. It gives like additional motivation to work, and yeah, it supports your work. Secondly, research assistantship is a great way to gain a deeper understanding of the field. Of course, like doing readings and submitting assignments is useful, but what is more useful is to gain some practical knowledge in your field. So when you participate in the project as a research assistant, it means that you are involved in the real project with real professors and researchers, and they are doing their real job. And you can grasp the understanding of how your field works, like what you can do as a researcher in your particular field. So I think it's really interesting, especially if you're planning to apply for grad school. So it will give you the understanding of how everything works, and do you like it or you don't like the research work. Yeah, and also particularly in this project, we had also a chance to get some additional training. So it's like this platform called CITI, so CITI. It's like a Coursera. So we participated in some trainings, like submitted some quizzes, and we get this certificates. So there are two more certificates. There were 3 courses and 3 certificates in total. So these courses help to understand the basics of research ethics. So for example, in our university, if I'm not mistaken, we don't have the courses about the research ethics and what it's like to be a real researcher. So these courses, additional courses, they help to understand how the research works and how the researchers work inside the educational institutions, and everything about the ethics of being a researcher. So it was really useful information. Yeah, so these are some of the benefits of being an array. In general, I would say that it's really interesting opportunity, and I would strongly recommend to try to get involved into a research project on your 3rd or 4th year of studying. So yeah, there are a lot of benefits of participating in it. I guess this is it. Yeah, I tried to cover all the important aspects. So thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, yes.
You said about benefits, but what about some like drawbacks? Maybe there were some challenges or like difficulties that you faced.
So obviously it's an additional work you need to do, and you've got like additional responsibilities because it's not like a volunteer work. You're getting paid for that. So you have a contract and you need to follow it, and you have additional responsibilities. And if you're like struggling with your university courses and homeworks and assignments, so it might be difficult to participate in this project along your studying and you're taking your courses. But if you have a good time management, it's not a problem. But yeah, I would say that being a research assistant, it gives you like additional responsibilities you need to take. And yeah, you need to think about that before getting involved, because it's not just volunteer work that you can just not do it. So you're getting paid and you have to do it. It's your responsibility. Okay, thank you for your question.
There is a question in chat. Can we still join this research?
You mean now? Join it now?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, honestly, I don't know. So you may contact Professor Filchenko. You may write an email. I think there is a possibility because we're going through the training process, and I guess some of the research assistants, they may leave the project, and there is a possibility that we will need some more people. So yeah, you can ask, you can write an email to Professor Filchenko asking about this. Okay, thank you for your question.
Okay, any more questions? I also shared in the chat the link to the website where you can find any information about the research, about professors and their interest. So.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Alena, for your presentation. Yeah, let's move on to our next speaker and the last speaker, Adia Tawasarova. And she's a third-year biological science major, and she'll talk about her experience with iGEM and in general with any professors.
So, hello, my name is Adia, and I'm third-year student. My major is biological sciences, and today I want to share my research experience with iGEM and new professors. So first, I want to make an introduction. I was a team member of New Kazakhstan team of our university that participated in a iGEM competition. This competition is held annually at MIT Boston and usually gathers about 300 teams. And we were the only Central Asian team. Our project was production of hydrogen gas using transformed cyanobacteria, Cyanococcus elongatus, PCC 7942. As a result of this, as a result of our participation, we have won bronze medal and we were nominated for the best energy project. I think these are really good results. Also, I worked as undergraduate research assistant at Professor Jeanette Kuhn's lab, and we worked on rheumatoid arthritis, a disease. We tried to find a biomarker that would allow to diagnose the disease earlier and allow earlier start of treatment. Also, I'm Dean's List awardee and MeSupport KZ volunteer. MeSupport KZ is a public health organization that translates and adapts scientific papers into Russian for healthcare workers. So to keep them up to date with new information about COVID-19. So I want to start with a iGEM competition because it is not simply a research experience. We got an opportunity to develop our skills in multiple spheres. And first of all, science is about sharing the knowledge. Our team consisted of students from different majors, starting from biological sciences and ending with a student with chemical engineering major and computer science physics major students. Together, we tried to solve every problem we had because we worked without API, principal investigator, without a professor. That is why every protocol that we used, we optimized ourselves. Also, participating in iGEM competition gives you an opportunity to develop your wet lab skills. When I was first year student, I was so shy and had low confidence. So I even couldn't grab the pipette on modern biology labs. But after participation in a jam competition and doing all the experiments myself, I became more confident. Also, a jam as a requirement for competition, we collaborated with jam teams all around the world. For example, we worked with students from Taiwan and Russia. We had Skype meetings and we tried to solve problems of each other. And another benefit of participation is project presentation. It is usually held in MIT Boston, but starting from this year, it is held in Paris. And the best part is that our university funds travel costs. On this picture, you can see Atabek, Tamili, Salimdar, and Aitana, who went to MIT in 2019 to present our project. So, as I said, it's not only research on synthetic biology, it's also about entrepreneurship, marketing, human practices, and public engagement. We even participated in IBC incubation program because our project had entrepreneurial potential. It is called Hydroplat, and also we participated in Climate Launchpad competition where we won the first place and became national winners and had an opportunity to present our project in Amsterdam. So by participating, you can learn web lab skills, you can learn how to solve problems yourself. You have an opportunity to participate in events organization and acquire skills in marketing and entrepreneurship. But also we had some drawbacks, like like nights in the lab. We worked really hard. And the best part, I have found new friends who are still there for me to help me. We experienced collective depression when our experiments did not give the results we wanted. This is a picture from our sleepless night. We worked for 10 hours to submit our project, and this was a picture from the 7th block. We submitted our project at 9 a.m. and some of our friends went to midterm. So it's all about experiments between midterms and quizzes. Okay, and it's all also we had. Also, by participating, you have an opportunity to have good relationship with the professor and PI, because we approached not only our PI Abdullah Mahbub, but also others like Anna Andreeva, Natalie Barteni, who helped us. And it looks good on your CV. Regarding research opportunities, everyone here gave their advice, and my first advice would be, don't be afraid to talk to professor. The most important is your desire to work. Just think that between you, research experience, conferences and publications, only one email. And another advice is to read some articles to know how to analyze data, because some professors require deep knowledge. For example, my professor required to read 150 scientific papers before the start of the work. So she wanted me to make a mini review. So how to find a professor with whom you want to work with? Go to a website, look for research interests of professors, find the one with whom your research interests overlap, approach him, and if you write an email, don't forget to attach CV and transcript. They always require it. But don't limit yourself only to your department. For example, students of biological sciences can also work in National Laboratory Astana. And you can also approach professors from SETS department to work in biofilm laboratory. If I remember correctly, the PI is Enrico Marsili. He is a really great researcher, and bioengineering group. They work on tissue engineering. And benefits. So benefits of research experience is successful application to master's and PhD programs. I have watched for a lot of master's program, and all of them require prior research experience because it shows your ability to work independently, conduct research independently, and that's it. Also, not only graduate programs, but also summer internship programs. I have applied for about 20 of them, and all of them require a minimum of 1 year. And also, it's good network. A lot of professors from our university can provide you not a place, but can recommend you to the professors from another universities. And it's always good to have research experience with professor because they would give you recommendation letter from professors, recommendation letter because they know you personally. It is always better. And as other speakers have mentioned, you can gain deeper knowledge in the field. And that's it. Thank you for your attention. If you have questions, you can ask me.
As I understood, like sometimes research may overlap with the studying, right?
Yes, but if you really want to work, you will always find time for research. Okay, I think that it depends on your major, because in biology, when we do experiments, some of them require time, they are restricted to time. So you need to repeat an experiment or add some solvent after 4 hours, after 6 hours, and you should, for example, set up the experiment at 12 a.m., came back at 6 a.m., came back again at 12 p.m., and so on. So it doesn't make difficulties, actually, if you work in a research team. But if you work alone, sometimes, yes. But I think you can manage to get high GPA.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adia, for the presentation. Do you have any question to particular Adia, or you can ask other speakers and we can answer any general question?
Sorry, do you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can hear you.
I wanted to ask Adia. She mentioned about CV and transcript. As I understood, we should attach CV and transcript in email for professors.
Yes, I would recommend, so they would see what kind of courses you have already passed, what kind of grade you have. But some professors require it, some professors doesn't. It depends. I would recommend to attach.
Oh, thank you.
Anyway, if you don't attach, I think they can check it themselves. So.
Yes,
we have a question here.
Yes, it is in medical field. It is related to rheumatoid arthritis.
Okay, do you have any more questions? Okay, if not, thank you very much for coming to our session. We'll post the recording to our YouTube channel and also share the link in the chat. So feel free to watch them in time and to contact us and ask any questions. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Goodbye.